All right. So today for Girl Gone Wireless, I have a special guest from my past and my present, and that is Clarke, aka Kemari. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I mean, this was a no-brainer. I think that we've done a pretty decent job at staying in touch since college, so
Yes.
that's pretty cool. But today, I mean, I want to talk a little bit more about you and what you've got going on now. So, can you let us in maybe on what you're doing with your podcast?
Yes. Okay, so my podcast, which is a year old now, yay.
Yeah.
It was with me and two other friends from Flagler College.
Mhm.
We came up with the idea that, so much is going on in pop culture, and we was at an Airbnb here in Miami for a birthday weekend, and we were just commentating on like shit that was going on in the
Yeah.
news media and laughing, and that's how the podcast started. So every week we try to record at least 2 episodes per week. So in case anyone is busy or can't make it, we have at least 1 to 2 episodes in the back end to use. So
Wow, that's impressive. 2 episodes a week is
mhm.
probably a lot to juggle with everything that you have
Yes,
going on, like
a lot.
personally and professionally. Can you just let me know who your two co-hosts are?
Yes, my two co-hosts are Sly Sylvester, yay,
Yes.
Sylvester Robinson, and Carol Hardner, which we also call her Carol Bernice. They're my two co-hosts. I met Carol through Sly. I met Sly at school. My first day at Flagler, I met Sly because he won. Remember that first day they had a competition in the D Hall Center, and he was
Yeah.
there, and he won the flat screen TV. I was like, "Why are you here? This is for the freshmen." Why? And that's how I met him through theater major because they're all both of them are theater major, and I also met him in communication, where I also met you.
Yes, yes. We shared most of our communication classes together. It felt like there for a while, especially in PR. Um,
Yes.
and you went on to do more of media production and
Mhm.
things of that nature. I know that now you're working as a paralegal, right?
Yes, yeah, paralegal legal assistant for my job. Adult
Very nice.
content creators.
I know. Wow, you really have grown up so much. It's
Yes.
just so cool to see. But I like that you also are working, with Flagler alum with your podcast.
Mhm.
And I want to know maybe what's been the most exciting thing for you to cover lately, or what was your most recent episode about?
I'm trying to remember. We didn't record last week. Hold on. Well, our recent topic was about the closer, the comedy special that Dave Chappelle did. There
Hmm.
was a lot of controversy behind it, a lot of transphobic, homophobic jokes behind it. So I watched it 3 times myself before I had them watched it. And what we did a little bit different for this episode was I had each of them send me a 5 to 10 minute comments how they feel about it. I'm going to infuse it together because I wanted to see what they were
Nice.
talking about because someone sent a topic to me,
Hmm.
and I was like, let me watch it. And I was like, I can't see what the whole controversy was about because I was like, I think they misconstrued what was being said.
Hmm.
So that latest episode, I think, will be one of our most controversial. And the second one I could think about was our comments and our opinion on music of today. Because,
Yeah.
me coming from Jamaica, in that
Shout out to
episode,
Jamaica.
thank you. What I explained in that episode is that um, I like to see how people view American artists outside of the US because there's a
Hmm.
lot of big artists here, but they really don't have a mass following outside the US.
Right.
So some of these artists is not really big in my country as that.
Hmm.
So, obviously everyone know Michael Jackson, but me growing up, America pop music or America hip hop music wasn't so big in my life growing up until I got here. So that was
I
also
got you.
another big episode that we got a
Hmm.
lot of traction from.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know there's one in particular that I really can't wait to discuss. If we could, please, the Living Black in America episode. Tell me a little bit about all of that.
Okay, how that started was that was my idea, and Sly. We would sit and talk together because, like I said, we're both different background. I live here in Fort Lauderdale. He from Liberty City, which is
Hmm.
considered a ghetto hood neighborhood, and Carol is also from Florida. She spent most of her life living in Ohio. So
Yeah.
she's an adopted. So she's given her adopted, standpoint of living in America as a lighter skinned Black woman, how each of us view racism based on our skin color and where we're growing up. But I was like, in that episode, I explained from my standpoint is that how African American here in the U.S. deals with racism is different than my country because my country history when it comes to slavery is about like 20 years,
Hmm.
and it's like not everything to me is a race issue. Not everything is a race issue. Not everything is black and white. There are other colors.
Yes.
If that makes sense, and how they view it versus me growing up here, it's a totally different. It's like a totally different experience. And one thing my friend did say to me was like, black Black Americans don't even give Black Americans respect, and other races here who live in America don't give a Black American respect versus outsiders, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
It
Because
does.
like
Yeah.
you have a lot of Jamaican restaurants here, there's a lot of Haitian restaurants here, there's a lot of Chinese restaurants here, but I was like, how view America is how they advertise to us. This is a land of opportunity, but when you come
Mhm.
here, it's not as such if you don't have someone to give you that luck that you need.
Yes, I have to agree with you. I think that the ideal and the idea of that American dream has completely shifted, and it did so quickly in the last, well, just go with the last 50 years. Um, Immigrants would come here from everywhere, anywhere, and totally had maybe felt slighted because it was like something that was grounded in deceit. That whole thing of selling them this idea of the American dream. So I think that it's very, very cool that you three got together and you were able to offer your different perspectives on just that. Um,
Mhm.
Super interesting. Do you think that one got a lot of traction just because of like the timing of its release, or do you think it's mostly because of its context?
I think it's context, but most of the time it's release because I'm a firm believer in timing and place is everything.
Hmm.
So because it's that first episode whole started like a couple months after the whole George Floyd and Ahmaud murdered in that was also another good topic as well that I
Hmm.
was surprised it got really good attraction for as well. So
Yeah.
we comment on all of that in there.
That's just crazy. All right. Well, I haven't listened to it yet, but after just hearing you speak about it and seeing like the passion come through, I definitely want to watch it. I
Because
definitely
I
want
have
to
a
watch
lot of
it and see.
comments.
I know that you do. You've always been so outspoken and true to you.
Thank you.
You should know that Kurt was just like known for a few things. I gotta mention the hoodie, man. He had
Yes.
this hoodie he would wear to campus, like a couple of them that he would wear every
I had a
day.
lot.
Or, it seemed like he had like the same one in 50 different colors. Like it
Yes.
seemed that way. You could picture his walk-in closet with like purple and red hoodies everywhere. So
Yes. Yeah, that is true. Cause what I did was I went to Walmart and I saw these hoodies
Mhm.
because I like the material. I like the
Yeah.
material. Like I said, I don't have no fashion sense. I'm very cheap. Because I buy as I go. I really do. I buy as I go. Give me the
Uh,
theme, tell me how to look, and I will be there.
Okay, that's all you need. That's all you need. He follows the instructions. He understood the assignment.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna stop nerding out. But I want to know because you latched onto Twitter really young, right? Can you
Mhm.
talk to me a little bit more about your
Well,
your love for Twitter?
well, I latched on to Twitter in college. I created
I'm
my
thinking of
Twitter.
YouTube. I'm thinking of
But
YouTube. But you do
oh,
love Twitter.
YouTube. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
YouTube. No, because YouTube came out 2005,
Yeah.
and back then I remember when YouTube came out. It was me and my friends. Was young. I'm like fresh in high school. Well,
Hmm.
last year in middle school, go to high school. And we used to create those videos with our flip phones. Bad quality.
Yep.
Everything was terrible. And because back then my account that I had was I used to call
Oh.
Millsberry.yahoo.com because I used to love the cereal so much, the cinnamon toast crunch
Oh
cereal.
my
And we used
gosh.
to have those Millsberry game map in the
Yeah.
back. I
Yeah.
used to
I
play
know
it
what you're
so
talking about.
much.
Okay.
So, because I just it's like to see growth over YouTube to from what I remember being one of the first people to had it. Because back then Google wasn't infused with them. Google didn't take
Mhm.
over. You didn't have to merge your Google account with it. So it's
Yeah.
just so good to see like over time to see how it grows and how people are making money from it. Even though I still believe they're very cheap.
Yeah, they are. Honestly, considering what all of those digital creators do for that company and for that organization, you would think like they would be making even more than they make. But I mean, also on the other side of that coin, there's some YouTubers that are out there getting crazy money and like they're still kind of like, what are they doing with their lives? I mean, I know they're making videos, but I don't know. How do you feel about that angle? How do you feel
Um,
about that? If
it's
someone like
like
their whole being is being a YouTuber.
yes, because that's the whole purpose, and that's my thing with now is that's I said um authenticity being authentic is dead.
Yes,
Being original is dead.
it is.
Like someone told me to create a TikTok. I'm not gonna create a TikTok because I'm not a fan of it too much. I
Mhm.
used to be on this other one called Light Key. Light Key. It's
Mhm.
very old. Like I used to post a thing up on there
I
because
remember these videos from you, man.
yes. Yeah, because I used to do when I was in St. Augustine, because when I used to work for a center for living for the mental disabled patients, I used to make
Mhm.
some fun videos with them. And then TikTok took over, and I was like, someone said, "Oh, you created TikTok, because right
Right.
now, your YouTube channel." This, I was like, I don't want to do it because everyone's doing the same thing. So what I
Yeah.
do from my Instagram, what I do when I post, repost stuff, I do like my commentary, like one liner stuff like that. I
Yes.
have a lot of tractions on my
I
Instagram
love what you're
stories.
doing, by the way. I love the way
Thank
that
you.
you're piecing it all together. It's like a
Yeah.
fresh take on Fashion Police, and
Yeah.
you know,
I
you know
love
how
Jones
I feel
Rivers.
about
I wish
you.
she was.
You know how I feel about you.
I love Jones Rivers. Because I don't know shit about fashion. I really don't. I don't know anything about fashion. Like I look at you guys. I look at Iman. I was like, I don't know anything. And like she told me a couple years ago, fashion is subjective. I said you're right, and I don't like it. So
I just love getting your input on everything. You're so entertaining online, always have
thank
been.
you.
You're welcome. I guess I just wanted to touch on next, like we had a conversation before that filming the episode about like friendship in your 20s,
Yes.
and even going into your 30s because you're almost 30, you're 29.
Yes.
You're a little
Yes.
spring chicken out there,
Mhm.
just living life. So I just want to see if you could expand on that. What are your like key friendships in your life right now or in your circle?
My key friendship. What I look for.
Like, who are your go-to people? Who's in your circle, and how would you say that y'all survived being friends throughout your 20s or
Well, well, for you, I would consider you one of my circle because I know you for like 10 years, 11 years now.
yeah.
Um, but besides that, the ones who I grew up with,
Yes.
it's I've always said there's when a tragic moment happen in your life, and the ones who are there to help you up, those are your ride or die.
Yeah.
There are few friends because my circle is very small. Like I do
Mhm.
talk to a lot of people. People that know you do know a lot of people. I said I really don't. My circle is really small. These are people who I knew from since I was in ninth grade.
Mhm.
We grew up together. We see each other flaws, like dramatic moments, terrible moments, drunk moments,
Yeah, all the
Mo-
above.
all
Spill
the
the
above.
tea.
Yes, all the above. So those is like my closest friend out of everybody is a female. Her name is Miss Stephanie Logan. I guess she was the first person I came out to, which I never
Mm.
needed to come out to anyone. But since I used to tell her each every in school growing up, oh, find someone. Okay, girl, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, like I'm gonna like have you stop trying to set me up and
Yeah,
it's truth
yeah,
time.
yeah. But
Yeah,
she already knew. So, but
of
and
course.
then growing up growing up over time, we became really close. And then I
Mhm.
met you guys. So I created a whole, different friend. These are people I knew from high school, and you guys I
Yeah.
met in college. It's the longevity. I do not like backstabbers. I really don't. I don't like Two Face. I don't because I'll call you out on that shit real quick.
Oh, yes.
Um, Growing up, even being 30s, at one point in my early 20s, I used to be like, oh my God, like what did I do wrong? I always try to rekindle that friendship. Now
Right.
I don't have time. Go.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
have
things
time.
things just change. I think that it's very true. Anything that like our parents tried to tell us about their friendship or relationships and that wisdom, I was like back then like, "Oh no, like whatever. This
I used
we're
to
so
blame
different." Yeah.
I
Like
used to blame Disney for that. Disney and Nickelodeon.
yes. I know you wanted to get that in there. Disney and Nickelodeon. What the hell? You set some weird ass standards for our brains as millennials. Like
Yes, growing up, because like I said,
weird.
I didn't start watching Disney until my late teens. I didn't grow up watching
Right.
Disney. You know, I binge watch everything. I knew of Raven Simone. I knew Sweet Life of Zack and
Yeah.
Cody. I knew all the shows,
Mhm.
but I didn't watch all the shows. And the reason why I made that comment about growing up with Disney because this idea that people have and how naive people can be, and I was like, you must
Mhm.
have grown up watching Disney and Nickelodeon. You have
Oh,
to.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's it.
100%. I'm adjusting. Hold on here. This hair. Here we go. It was swallowing me. Okay, I'm back. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that Disney, I don't really watch anything from it now, but I used to be such a Disney kid. I would remember spending Saturdays at my grandma's, like growing up all the time. So my parents had some personal time, and I was just Disney Channel all day long. Like, I don't really remember Nickelodeon other than I know, of course, I watched SpongeBob, but like, and Cat Dog, Hey Arnold, but like, I wasn't super into that network. Disney was it for me. I think it definitely slanted some of my like perceptions of romance
Mm.
for sure.
Well, this is a little bit personal, but I grew up. My family, we didn't really have cable growing up. Really, it's
Right.
my family. It was strictly about education for us. So
That's good.
we did a lot of reading of books, reading of books. We didn't start really watching, like I said, TV until our late teens. My mom was very strict on education. In Jamaica, I grew up around my religious cousins.
Mhm.
And it was very I was very I was such a, I guess you could say nerd. Schooling was everything for me growing up.
You loved school. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like great grades was everything for me. And when I graduated college, I wanted to go for masters, and I took a time off. My cousin got her PhD in bio, molecular biology.
Biology? That's hard to
Yeah,
say, man. Let's
yes,
not do
molecular
that anymore.
biology. Yes. So yeah, that's the thing with me. I didn't really grow up with TV so much. That's why I didn't get into these shows. I don't care
Oh,
for
I
SpongeBob.
totally
I never watched
understand.
it.
Oh, I don't know. It's like a little guilty pleasure. I definitely watched too much television. Like TV was always on in my house. There's like a TV in every room. I thought that was overkill. Um, but I just have such funny memories from my grandma's house, and that's one of them. I don't know. I knew you were a ride or die, by the way, when you showed up to my fashion show I produced in 2019. I was just like, Kurt and Sly. And I was like, these are my guests. Like everybody I invited, and these friends of mine from Flagler came. How important and cool is that? And I was just like so tickled. I know I was like running around like a headless chicken, but I was so tickled by that. And
Yes, you was
I
booked and
remember
busy that
telling my
night.
mom, and I was just like, my mom was like, they really showed up. And I was like, yeah, like Sly was in Glee Club with me. Kurt and I just like talked shit about every one of our professors in the comm program until it got better, and here we are.
Yes. Yeah, that was
Oh
it
man,
was a very neat it was a very neat fashion show. It really was. It was
that
neat.
was cool. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be what it was, just like a whirlwind. So thank you again for coming. Even I'll thank you today, a couple years later, again. Oh, I'm red. Look at me. I'm flush. But that was great. I really appreciate you and the friendship that we have. I think it's really cool. We don't always talk, but when we do, we just like hop right into something and always have fun.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Um, so I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about Flagler, but we both went there. We loved their, experience, and I think it would be really cool if we went to like an alumni event together or something. I don't know if that's on the table for you.
Um, I'll go with someone, not by myself though.
Oh, no, no, no. You'd have to go with me.
Yes. Yeah, let me know in advance. I will definitely go. It's like I said, I love Flagler, but then again, it's like a bittersweet with that school.
It is.
It was like a
Changed a lot.
bittersweet. It was like a bittersweet in that school, and because I remember going there and I knew people that wanted funds for school because no, there was the tuition was running short, and I remember a lot of people used to go to that school and be like, "Hey, they told me they don't have enough money." I said, "That's a lie," because they just gave me like $2,000.
Yeah,
And then after we graduated, after like a couple months, I went back there. There's an added section to FEC. I was like,
there
oh,
is.
so that's where the money went to.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. It's changed a lot. I haven't been super recent, but it was definitely, oh, actually, yeah, 2020.
Mhm.
So the summer of 2020. But before that, it was for a wedding like a long time ago. So
Oh,
it
so
just
we're in the
would be
same
cool
summer
to see
history.
it would be cool to see like the comm building again, like inside, because I mean, we don't have an ID anymore, so like it's not like they're gonna let our crazy asses in.
Yes, yes. I haven't been inside either. But like I
Right.
told you in our phone call,
Yeah.
driving past the whole atmosphere, it just doesn't feel it. I wasn't getting that life I was getting when we used to go there. It was
Right.
I look forward to go to the campus, even though I talk to a lot of people. Like I told you, I put my headphones on, don't talk to me. But I look
You're always in the
forward.
zone.
But I look forward to going to campus. But driving
Mhm.
past is like these kids nowadays. It's like, okay,
Yeah, a little dull. I don't know. I
little
guess we're
dull.
just a shit, you know. 2013, 2014. That was a good
Well,
time.
our first year, they did say this class was a special bunch of group of kids. Our first day, I remember because the first day at Flagler, we sat there for 2.5 hours in that
Oh yeah,
auditorium
that was awful.
talking about drugs. And then after that, on my floor, sorry, on my
It's
floor in
okay.
Lewis Hall, a kid OD'd on cocaine.
On cocaine, of all
Mhm.
things. I'm sure I
Mhm.
remember this like back then, but now it
Yes,
just seems
yes. You,
crazy,
you didn't. You
ridiculous.
never. Do you remember? And then on my floor in Lewis Hall, that kid who pulled a gun at his roommate. Girl, please,
Yeah, I remember that.
please,
That was
yeah.
some wild shit. And then after that, I think you were like, "Yeah, I'm getting the fuck off campus."
No, I moved from there to FEC. Then after FEC off campus, because I was
Good.
the one because I crawled down on the wall. The walls are bricks, so I crawled down on the walls with the bricks, and I was the one who went and contacted the security. Like, look, there's a student with a gun on my floor. Like I
That's so
said,
crazy.
so many things
Special
happen
bunch.
with those dudes at Flagler College that if anything comes out, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, we think he did it? Most likely.
probably. Wow. Those are some weird stories. You got any other good Flagler memories for me? This is juicy. A gun, an OD? Like, damn,
No.
these are
I had
some
I had
private
one
school kids.
roommate. I had one roommate who was a I had one roommate. 'Cause it was so funny to me because I took AP and honor classes, so I was around a lot of IB kids, very smart bastards. And American Heritage here in Fort Lauderdale is a very
Yes.
prestigious school, and I used to go to parties or in high school, and those kids were doing a lot of drugs. So when they was like, "Oh my God, there was a lot of kids OD'd and stuff from American Heritage," yes.
Okay.
So
That's
it
scary.
was. It was some of that. I remember one time I went to a party and someone had was it acid, that drug called acid,
Yeah,
on
that's
for a
a
piece of
thing.
paper, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh my God, what is this?" And they stopped me before sniffing. They was, "Oh my God, that's acid." And I was like, "I think I'm at the
Oh,
wrong party. See you guys tomorrow."
that is a good call. Because acid is not a good time. I can attest to that.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, not fun.
just give me my
I got
alcohol.
Kurt coughing. Sorry, Kurt. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. It's okay. You had you some good times.
I had me some fun, honey. Okay. I mean, you can't take the South Florida out of the girl. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. And living in a small town, then going away to college, and like seeing all you crazy kids and how wild some of the parties were. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna like pretend this is my element, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna do everything to try to fit in.
For
Stupid.
some reason, I thought you was from one of them
Stupid.
one of them states like Connecticut or something that nobody
Dude,
goes to. I
you
really
always
thought
do
you.
this to me. You always do this to me. I am not from New England, okay? We're gonna go through this again. I am not New Englandy, but my family is. So that's probably what you got.
Okay,
I'm
because I
from
remember
South
I was like,
Florida.
you was like, it was all from South Florida. I was like, really? Wow.
Yeah, I was born in Lauderdale.
Yes, I remember you telling me that. And there was this other dude that he was so pretty, and him and his girlfriend looked so good together, but he was really prettier than his girlfriend. It was weird. I thought he
Ooh,
was. Don't ask me, I don't know his name, but
dang
he's one
it.
of them. He's very into his appearance and his physiques.
Oh,
He's
Metro.
Metro, the new gay to
Yeah,
me, but that's
yeah,
just my opinion.
honestly. Honestly.
And
The
I was like,
hybrid.
yes, I was like, dude, I'm like, where are you from? You're very, you're giving us this, what do you call it, eccentric look? Whatever,
Yeah.
is that what they call it?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'm from South Beach. I was like, oh yeah, now I could tell why.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
sense. I mean, I lived
It's-
there for a whole year and it was crazy. I have crazy stories from that, but we don't have time for all that. Being in Miami for the last 5 years was bananas, and coming back here, as you know, total change of pace, but we're out here doing it. You're
yes,
back in
I
Lauderdale, I'm back home.
unfortunately. But I was
All
like,
right.
I would comment. My last comment was because I remember we living
Sure.
in Fort Lauderdale. I used to message you like, how do you live
Yeah.
there? I was like, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, and I don't think I could survive it, man. It's so expensive. Because usually when I go to Miami, I always
Yeah.
park at Sly House or Uber when I go to
Mhm.
Sly House because I was like, I'm not looking for no parking. I'm not doing, and it's so
No.
expensive there.
It's awful. It was so bad, like, my car would get popped if I left it in a weird spot, or it happened to me twice. So, like, it just didn't have good vibes. And after that point, I started leaving my car just like at home in South Beach in this little private lot and then just Uber everywhere. It was the easier thing to do, like the safer thing to do, no tickets, no car popping. So, it's crazy down
Oh,
there. Not gonna lie.
ooh, oof.
Yeah. I know. So, but I survived and look at us. We're just doing our thing. I'm really proud of us. We always are very like convicted with what we're going to be doing and like go for it. So, I'm
That
just
is
very proud of
true.
you for like
Thank
doing
you.
the legal career and like still having your media production hobby and fun with your podcast and your
Yeah.
friends. And
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I just love it. So, it was really really good to talk to you today. Do you have
Thank
anything
you.
else you want to say?
Um, well, no.
No? Okay, that's all right.
No. Well, no, no, no. Because because I need to edit my podcast and I need to edit these reaction videos that I did to
Yes.
Squid Game.
Squid Game. Did you finish it?
Yes. I'm almost done. Unpopular opinion, I think the show is kind of boring, but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems a little
um,
complex and slow moving.
it's complex and slow moving, but I understand it because I think the whole ideal is you have to watch the whole thing. Whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just that um been there, done that. The one who wrote and directed the show, he get his inspiration from this Japanese movie called Battle Royale, where they have a group of
Mhm.
kids do the same thing and compete each other. I mean, compete with each other, kill each other. And
Yes.
so he got inspiration from that. And I know over there right now, South Korea is having a whole protest thing. So there's a lot of shit I need to go watch and review
Oh,
and comment on.
yes, please. All right. Well, I'm excited to hear that. So I'll
Yes.
let you get to it. But thank you again, Kurt, for being a guest on Girl
Thank
Gone
you.
Wireless, hosted by me, your girl,
Yes. I can't wait
Chelsea
to see the
Walsh.
episode.
It's gonna be fun, boo. Thank you again. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.